pranams to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My pranams to you, Mataji.
Yes, pranams to you all. So here, thank you for the Katha, Gaur Katha. Thank you for Gaur Katha. Thank you for the reading today. It just reminds me of, in the Chaitanya Katha, when Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, we have heard this before too, a little bit of it. Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, when he's chanting and dancing in the streets, on the streets, then there are many flood of people. They come, they have darshan of Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. Darshana matrena, just with the darshan. And they get purified, and with a glance from Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, they get love of Godhead. Like that. Many of them, flood of people on the streets, either on the streets of Jagannātha Purī, or Dakshina Desha Yatra, or Vrindavan Yatra. So anywhere on the streets, there will be mobs and mobs of people, and they get the mercy. And again, we heard this the other day. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before going to South India Yatra, how he gave darshan to tons of devotees that were waiting for him. Those were waiting for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Alalnada. So they waited for a long time, all those devotees, for darshan. After 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of waiting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was in the temple room behind the curtains with his associates, like that. So after a few hours, he came out. He gave darshan to everybody. That was just a 1-minute darshan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a flash darshan like that, he just raises his arms up in the air and he says, Bolo Hari, Hari. That's all. Everybody goes, Hari, Hari. And then Hari, Hari. That's all we hear. Only Hari, Hari. That's a flash darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then after that, 1 minute or less than a minute, the darshan is over, and then he goes inside. The curtain closes, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, generally by the time it's noon time, so they would have lunch together. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Ram, Mukunda Datta, Damodara, and Sarvam Bhattacharya is in Jagannātha Purī by this time. He gave a send-off to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he remained in Jagannātha Purī. So there are only few devotees in Alalnada. Nityananda Ram, Mukunda Datta, Damodara. And his personal servant, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant. I like that. And Gadadhara also came. Gadadhara, Alalnada. Yeah. So only few devotees there. And then when the prasad comes from Jagannath temple, then they would honor this prasad. That was noon time and they honored the prasad. Like that. So many people on the streets, and then only few people behind the curtain with Mahaprabhu, right? And of course, Dakshin Desha Yatra, Mahaprabhu goes and then come back, and then Vrindavan Yatra, he goes and comes back. And then the Gambhira Bhajan in the Antilila. There in Gambhira, even Nityanandaram is not there. Nityanandaram is not there. Advaita Acharya is not there. Advaita Acharya is also not there. Gadadhara is at Tota Gopinada. So in Gambhira only Rai Ramananda and Swarupa Damodara. Only these two devotees are there. Of course, Swarupa's Raghunatha is there. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, his Swarupera Raghu. He was assisting Swarupa Damodara. He used to bring some stuff here and there, in and out of Gambhira. What Mahaprabhu would need, Swarupa Damodara, he would ask. So he was just assisting Swarupa Damodara in Gambhira. So that's how Raghunath Das Goswami got to see such transformations of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had in Gambhira, Raghunath Das Goswami. So like that, in Gambhira, there's only Swarupa Damodara and Rai Ramananda. And that's the almost start of the Antilila. Antilila starts when Advaita Acharya, when he comes for the Ratha Yatra, see, generally they come every year. And one of the years, after 4, 5, 6 years, after Lord has already completed Dakshin Yatra, Vrindavan Des Yatra, all that has happened, then Advaita Acharya one day, he cryptically indicates, he sends a message from Navadvipa to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a very cryptic way, saying that now the purpose of your avatar here, the flow of your Krishna Prema in the form of Premanama on the streets is now over. Now it's time for you to completely focus on your primary reason of your advent. The primary reason of the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarup. To relish that Radha Bhava within. So that is the primary reason. The primary reason is for the milk to boil. That's the primary reason. Well, milk overflowing, that will happen. Fine. That will happen. Yeah. It's not that we have some milk, we start pouring out. What taste will it have if you're just starting to pour out kacha milk, just raw milk? The primary reason for the advent is boiling the milk. And then, of course, the milk gets overflows. That will be there. So Advaita Acharya is sent that cryptic message. Now the whole world is flooded with Krishna Prema. You can relish now. You can relish. your internal moods now, different mellows of Radha Bhava. So that was the cryptic message, that now you can go in your internal bhajan. So, and that's how Antalila starts. So all that internal bhajan, that goes in Gambhira. Gambhira with Rai Ramananda and Swarupa Damodara. So Antalila continues like that. Like that. Mostly with the internal bhajan. It's actually that part of Antalila is simply transformations, Ashta Sattvika Vikara. Even inside the Gambhira or outside the Gambhira, all just such transformations of the Lord. So elongated, unconscious, and the joints become loose. And that kind of transformation that was in the front of Jagannātha Purī. And then like a ball, the Ashtasattvic Vikar, where limbs are drawn inside, and he becomes like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, becomes like a ball that was in a cow shed. And somewhere in the sea, oof. So that is beyond the Gambhira. In the Gambhira, there is Swarupa Damodara and Rai Ramananda. But in the very final stages, these are the transformations where even Swarupa Damodara, Rai Ramananda wouldn't know where the Lord is. And they had to go search, find here and there, find here and there, search where the Lord is. And they end up seeing, when everybody gets gathered in front of the Jagannath temple, then they would come and see, oh, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, look at that, Ashta Sattvic Vikar, so elongated, beyond recognition. The bones are just floating in the skin. Like that. And some other time, they don't find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again in Gambhira. Where did he go now? Where did the Lord go this time? Go search here and there. And then they find this effulgent golden ball in the cow shed, where the cows are very lovingly licking. And they look at this golden ball and they say, oh my goodness, this is Gaurachandra. He withdrew all the limbs and he became like a golden ball. Those are the ecstatic manifestations of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are the Leelas of Gaurachandra. Leelas of Gaurachandra. So, from the streets to behind the scenes, into the Gambhira, and then past Gambhira. Radha Bhava Suvalita. Now Krishna Swarup. You know, our devotional journey also, it depends upon why we have come into Bhakti. This is an unfailing process. You get what you have come for. That's all. ISKCON is big. Yeah, institution. But in Prabhupada family, there's gift inside the gift box. So yeah, there is this superficial effective covering called gift box. That's a superficial state, superficial beginning state, that gift box. And that's what we see, right? We don't see the gift. Immediately we see the gift box, a glittering gift box. It has to glitter. Otherwise, how would you know that there is gift inside? Glittering gift box. But we don't stop at the glitter. We just don't say, oh, this gift box is so glittering, beautiful. I want this gift box. If this gift box is so beautiful, what about the gift inside? So what have we come for here in Krishna Bhavana? So the Lord is sitting in the heart and He orchestrates everything in a very unfailing way. He arranges everything in a very unfailing way, depending upon the desire that we have, the longing that we have for Him, the longing that we have for Him. So, according to His orchestrations, Chaitanya is present in the heart. What is your real desire here in Bhakti? What is your real desire? Is it Arto, Artati, Jnani, Chan, Bharatarsh, Chaturvida, Bhajante, Jana, Sukritino, Arjun, Arto, Jitnyas, Artati, Jnani, Bharatarsh. See, the beginners layer, a loud layer is Arti and Artha. So in the beginning of Bhakti, the loud Bhakti is about Arti and Artha. I want these miseries to go away. And or I want something out of this Bhakti. I want something for myself out of this Bhakti. I want something from Krishna. I want something for my own self. That's the Artha. So that is the loud Bhakti, Ati and Artha. And then the next more quieter one is Jignasa. Curious for the questions to be answered. They're not. That layer is not very loud. Nevertheless, again, they want their questions to be answered. That's all. Still, something for themselves. And nevertheless, it's not so loud as Arti and Artha. And the next one is Jnani, who knows that Krishna is all in all. And who worships Krishna with undeviated attention. And this Jnani, who is performing undeviated attention to the Lord. The Lord says He is the best and He is most dear to Him. So that is such a personal journey. The third part, that is beyond the Jignasa. No more questions. Yeah, all of them are answered. In the next state is this. And the Sangha, not so much because of question and answers. There is a lot beyond question and answers. We tend to think that only when we talk, when we read, when we hear, we get bhakti. All that is what the general a public platform, all that katha is only 5%. 5% that anybody and everybody could understand is only 5%. And the next layer is that can be expressed in the deeper aspects of bhakti, maybe next 15%. Even if the Goswamis have to express what they have in their heart, that would fall in the next 15%. The literatures of Goswami, the Stavamala, Vilapa Kusumanjali, all of that. But more is present in the rest, the 80%. That 80% is in the heart of a Bhagavatam, which cannot be expressed in words, cannot be written, cannot be expressed in words. But the Bhagavata constantly just imparts to the surrendered soul. At this time, for that 80% to be realized and experienced, it is not it can happen only when the Bhagavata Mahabhakta accepts the Satsishya and places in the heart. He has to place the Sishya, let the Sishya into his heart, because that's where the mellows are. Like that. So that 80% is not much spoken, but is only felt, only experienced. So that's in the stage of Varanadasa and Smaranadasa. Varanadasa and Smaranadasa. Because those are not ordinary things, right? Transcendental mellows. Mellows are exchanged, mellows are transferred. How much can they be said? So that's Varanadasa and Smaranadasa. Yeah. So these are the stages. Why was I thinking? This is how the bhakti journey goes. When we join in bhakti, when we take diksha, what is it that I'm taking this diksha for? Based on that desire, the deep desire in the heart, Bhagavan arranges everything accordingly outside and reveals within. So as this happens, a lot of filtering happens. This is all, the qualification is only so much. Some can only be on the street. Some can be behind the curtain. But when the mellows get more specific, then it gets to Gambhira. Like that. And of course, when the Lord has to wind down his pastimes, then of course Ashta Sattvika Vikara, all that come, where he's totally relishing within himself. And of course he's in the pastimes, different pastimes of Leelas of Krishna. And then after that he disappears. Our bhakti, but those who are coming to Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, but this kind of bhakti, then this is what is expected if somebody wants to take this route. So by the time one comes to Varanadasa and Smaranadasa, then it's like, that is more like you are behind the curtain and almost into the Gambhira. That's the state. So this is the internal journey. After we take the shelter, and of course the external things appear accordingly. It's not that we change the external things or we want to change the external things, but external things, they just get changed because internal changes are happening, will happen. The external things get changed, not that you want to change. So whatever happens internally, and then externally does. Well, I don't know what time it is. I'm just speaking and speaking as if we are in the eternal time frame. In the present continuous Nitya Vartamana. So that's one aspect. And the second thing I wanted to mention is here Swarupa Damodara Goswami, to this Brahmana scholar. He's saying, after he pointed out that this Brahmana scholar is not speaking according to Tattva and there are no mellows. And then this Brahmana scholar, he felt very bad. And he realized he knew nothing. And because he's simple-hearted, Swarupa Damodara could realize that. And then he said to this Brahmana scholar, you don't feel bad now. All you have to do is to get to this, for you to get this Tattva and Rasa. It's not simply, it is not enough just that you become a scholar, but you have to be with the Gaura Bhakta. Gaura Bhakta with Sushrusha. Aharnisha with Gaura Bhakta and Sushrusha. Only then both the Tattva and Rasa can enter. Because again, this Tattva and Rasa is not so much to do with the words. When people try to look at Tattva, especially Tattva, what to speak of Rasa? Rasa is very difficult even to. With the Tattva, if they just look at it as words and and try to understand, you wrap your head around it and try to understand. It doesn't come that way. Tattva is not about the words. Tattva is about submission. When there is mood of submission, then the Tattva is understood. And as the mango gets ripened, you don't just paint a yellow color on a sour mango and call it the ripe mango. No, it's not simply about the yellow color of the skin. The mango is ripening. So Tattva is about submission. Only when there is submission, the Tattva is understood. Not with so-called intelligence. What is that intelligence when the mind is screaming? That mind and intelligence is good for nothing, only obstruction. So Tattva is not something that could be understood, but with submission, Sevonvike Hijivada. Then that's why it is called Tattva descends. Descends more than understood. It descends. It descends when there is submission, proportionate to the submission. Tattva descends. Then the mango is ripening. It's clear when the mango is ripened. It's clear when Tattva descends. It will be clear. And From that comes the mellows rasa. So these are not start and stop buttons. Okay, I'm hearing now, I logged in now, and I see the person and I'm talking, start. Okay, now hearing over, and I don't see the person anymore, stop. It's not start, stop. This is an ongoing internal journey. So for the tattva and rasa to descend, this is why these words are used, descend, descend. Because both tattva and rasa is only about descending. So what is there within us to think, to understand, to contemplate, etc., etc., etc. All that software is trash software. It's all trash. So tattva and rasa descends. That happens when we are in constant association of the Gaura Bhakta. That's what Swarupa Damodara said to that Brahmana scholar. So you just be in constant association of Gaura Bhakta, then you will get the tattva and rasa, then you will understand. So that's how we get it. So these are the two things, dear devotees. First we heard about the Gaurachandra's pastimes, starting from the street to behind the curtains into Gambhira and beyond Gambhira. And our bhakti also can be like that, if that's what we are praying for, to Guru and Gauranga. And the second one was about the tattva and rasa. How do they descend? That's the constant association with Gaura Priya. That's all, Mataji. Thank you all, dear devotees.